In today's video, I'm gonna be animating a short scene with my two new OCs because I really love them. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So I'm starting with a short little animatic to like put down what I want to do for the full animation. So you know, it was really quick. And then of course I get to just drawing the first image, I guess, that I'm gonna animate. So the characters I'm gonna be animating are new OCs. So these aren't OCs that I've drawn on the channel or like even made before. These are like really recent characters, and I wish that I had made a video on like the creation of them. I was going to, but then I just didn't. And I would like go through like a little bit of the lore of them, but I want to have time to actually talk about the process. So if anyone is interested, I'll just do that later. So this first character I'm drawing is Ezo. He's a little boy. I had a little bit of trouble like designing him. Well, not really. When I first drew him and his sister, which is the girl next to him in this photo, you know, I was kind of just doodling, and then that came up and I actually liked it because, you know, I love characters with green hair and I always wanted to make more, and but also I really like the color yellow. I think that's my favorite color, and I wanted to incorporate yellow somehow into his hair, but I didn't want the whole thing to be yellow because he kind of already gives Zenitsu vibes, and I didn't want him to have the same hair color as him too. So what I also love besides green hair is like having a different color like undertone to their hair. So I made the undertone yellow, and I like really liked that decision. I think he looks more unique like that, and it's like two things I love in character design, so I was happy about that. For some reason, I also like the look of like really messy, choppy hair. Like it looks like you cut it with a freaking knife or something. I don't know. I really like how it looks, and so I just tried to like incorporate a lot of design characteristics that I like into this character. So I did that. And then when I ended up liking his design so much that I wanted to make, you know, 3 different outfits for him based on some lore that I started coming up with as I was drawing him. And one outfit I was having so much trouble with, guys, because I could not figure out the color scheme. Like, I still don't really know about the color scheme I have for him right now, but anyways, I'm going to talk about the process a little bit. So what I'm doing here is I want to make him look up, and so I just move his ears down and his face up to make it like his head is moving up, you know what I mean? And then I try to erase like the back part of his hair, because that's like the top of his head since he was looking down previously. So I kind of erase it or like make it smaller to make it look like, you know, it's going back so you can't see the top of his head anymore. Also, guys, I'm not like an experienced animator. I barely animated anything besides like that little cat thing, and that was like my first colored and like kind of serious animation. I've never animated something with line art like this, and I'm taking an animation class, but we haven't actually started animating yet. And I had a digital art and animation class last year, but the only thing I animated was pixels, like pixel animation, which is a lot more forgiving. So this is kind of like my first actual animation, so it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be super fluid. There's probably going to be like a lot of mistakes in the process. I had a lot of things that I wish I hadn't done, that I had issues with, that I probably wouldn't have made a mistake with if I actually knew what I was doing. So please don't expect this to be like perfect. And I, you know, for this reason I purposely kind of picked things that I knew would be simpler for me to do, like just looking up, and it's not really a lot of like the body moving. It's more just like head movements, like, you know, really small and simple stuff. I also tried to do like a little well, I don't know like the correct term for it, but like when something like bounces back so it doesn't look as stiff, like if his head were to like look up and just completely stop, I tried to make his hair move a little bit to make it look more, you know, animation like. And then I'm just animating a little blink. I didn't want it to be like too slow of a blink, so I only animated like his eye about to close and then closed and then, you know, open back up. But anyways, I was really proud of his design and his hero design too. I had a lot of references from Pinterest and stuff like that, so but yeah, I really like him. Next, I'm drawing Ema, which is his twin sister. They're fraternal twins. They're not identical, but I did want them to look pretty like you know, their hair is both kind of that squarish choppy look. They both have like the yellow undertone of hair. They both have yellow eyes, and their eyes are kind of similar, except that Ema has like a circle in her eyes, like as her kind of pupil, I guess, and Izo doesn't. They also of course don't have the same skin color, but don't question it, okay? They're technically not even really humans, so it'll make sense kind of if I ever get to explaining their lore. I personally really love Ema. I love her outfit. Her outfit and her color scheme came to me much easier than Izo's did. I didn't have nearly as much trouble with it. Her hero outfit, I like it, though I don't know if it's gonna stay like that forever. I kind of just looked up something that I thought was pretty and tried to make it. I knew what I wanted. I liked the mask. I knew that I wanted the mask to look like that from the beginning. I'm really happy about the mask. But the rest I might change later, especially because I don't even know like their ethnicities or like races really. Their names aren't even like of any kind of origin to any place or anything. It's really just it just came out of something else that doesn't have anything to do with their like race or origin and wherever they came from. So I really have no idea what they are. I could keep it like that to where they're really like, you know, ethnically ambiguous, but at the same time I looked up, I think like Chinese traditional some type of clothing that was the inspiration for her hero design, so that might make you think, oh, is she Asian? But you don't know, we don't know. For her, I just wanted to animate her tilting her head to the side and smiling like I did in the animatic, which was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, and it's really simple, and I thought it came out really cute. But also I do not have like the full footage for that. As you can see right here, I did all of that, but I couldn't show you all of that because so there's animation assist, right? And every time I would try to exit it to, you know, draw a new thing, I accidentally pressed the video thing, and then it asked me if I wanted to purge the video, and I said no. But what I didn't know is that even though I didn't tell it to purge it, it stopped recording. So there's no footage from like after I started animating her turning her head. Up until that point I showed earlier where I'm already drawing her standing up and drawing her clothes. So that really sucked because obviously I didn't screen record it, so I don't have any footage for that. But I do have footage for some of the part that Procreate didn't capture, but that I did. So thank goodness, because it would suck to have just like not have me drawing her standing up, because I was actually pretty proud of it because I kind of suck at drawing side view, so I was pretty happy when I did draw it pretty well. So I'm happy I got that on footage. Anyways, here I'm drawing the scene with them, you know, side by side. I'm drawing Izo first, just sitting down, you know, hugging his knees like he was before. I guess I could kind of talk about like their personality types. So for Ema, they're twins, but I always imagine her as more of the like mature one. She's more brave and outgoing. She's a little stubborn, and she's like always protecting Izo. And Izo's he's like a scaredy cat. He's kind of like Zenitsu, but not as loud and not very I don't know, how should I say this in a nice way. He's of course not as girl crazy as Zenitsu is, if you know who that is. For this part of the animation, I was going to, like in the animatic, I was going to have her like reach her hand out for Izo, but I discovered that's kind of out of my skill range. I did try it, but I was like, nah. So I decided to just have their hair blow in the wind, which I wasn't sure if I'd be able to animate that very well, since obviously I've never tried, and it seemed like it was going to be kind of tricky. But to me at least, it was a lot easier than I expected. Also, I'm very glad that the way I went about it is I didn't want to have to go through and do line art for each frame. So I tried my best to make the like sketch look as clean as possible. And I also, you know, this is kind of a different style than my usual style. I purposely made it be simpler and use like a brush that kind of looks kind of sketchy, so even if it doesn't look perfect, it kind of looks like it's supposed to be like that. So I'm very happy with that decision. And this is just me animating the hair. Yes, I actually really like the hair animation. It went a lot smoother than I thought it would, and I actually really like it. Oh, I forgot to explain her horns. In one of the pictures, I put like these bun things over her horns. I don't know if I want to keep that. I was gonna give her a hat, but I didn't really like how it looked. So if there's any other suggestions, or if you like the buns that I gave her to cover her horns, or like antenna, they're more like antenna than horns, I want to say. But you know, if you have any suggestions that might look better or make more sense than the buns, that would be really helpful. And then for Izo, you can't really see it in the animation because I ended up covering it as it's supposed to be, but his right eye is black, like his sclera is black, and he covers it with his hair, but I don't want it to be too covered because I kind of want you to still tell. Anyways, we're on to the coloring. This kind of gave me trouble because I wasn't completely sure how I was going to color it, if I wanted to shade it or how I was going to go about doing it for every single layer. I think it went fine, but coloring took a long time, okay? I was so happy I didn't do like line art because oh my gosh, line art would have been even worse because even just coloring every frame took me a hot minute. It wasn't hard, it was just very tedious. Like animating something takes a lot of patience, guys, and I'm honestly surprised. It only took me like a couple of days to animate this, and I was really surprised because I procrastinate a lot, but I was really interested in animating this and I was having a lot of fun with it. So I think that's what really helps me keep going and finish it in like a pretty timely manner, even like when I had school and everything. So I was really happy with this. I'm gonna like post a shorts of it too because I hit 500 subscribers, guys. I'm really happy about that. And you know, I want this channel to be eligible for monetization because I would just love some money, guys. But you know, in the YouTube studio, it says something about a certain amount of views on shorts, so I'm gonna start posting shorts, and it would be great if you guys would, you know, tune in for that. So I guess I'm gonna post the finished animation on shorts after I upload this video. Anyways, I'm moving on to the background. I honestly wasn't sure about adding a background, but I thought since I went this far, it would be nice to put them in an actual environment and not just a white canvas. And if you saw that, it was me checking if I was still recording because I do that actually a lot. And that's how I sometimes notice when I am not actually screen recording, which sucks. But after it previously happened, I had to keep checking if I was screen recording just in case. Because also at some point, I had been recording for so long that it just didn't save. That might have been what happened earlier, that the screen recording just didn't save because I didn't have enough storage. So that sucked. Anyways, the idea for the background was that I wanted the background for Izo to look very chaotic and destructive, like he just had this what I call tantrum, which you would know if you knew the lore. But he had a tantrum and it ended up, you know, destroying a lot of things around him. He feels really bad about it. He's sitting there looking all sad. And then what I wanted for Ema is for her background to look very happy and inviting and like, you know, nature, flowers and pretty and stuff like that. You know, she smiles at him and basically pulls him into the bright side, which I was gonna animate that, like actually pulling him up, but I'm obviously not that advanced yet, so I could not do that. It would be really nice though if like in the future I could like reanimate this like every year as I get better and just like make it better and better and do actually what I wanted to do and just see how far I could go and how good this animation could become. But as of right now, I'm actually really proud of it considering that I really don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, there's kind of the like, you know, quickly thrown together destructive background for him. Oh, and I wanted to add like a shadow behind him. I was gonna make the shadow move according to how his head was moving, but guys, I was getting pretty lazy. I was already doing so much repetition. Like, look at all these frames, and I was so sick of it. So he just has the same shadow every time. Now I'm drawing Ema's background. Like I said, I wanted her to be like in a very bright place. You're looking up at her, so all you see is the sky right now. But it's a, you know, very blue sky. I wanted to add some like dramatic lighting just to make it more interesting. I wasn't sure about this because I thought it might look bad, but I ended up going with it anyways because I didn't want to hold myself back and then like not go with the ideas that I thought were cool and then end up with like a boring animation. So even if I was scared about it, I went with it anyways. So I gave her this cool lighting and everything, but then I did end up having to copy and paste it onto every frame and adjust it. So that took a minute, but I think it was worth it in the end because it does make it look a lot more interesting. Here I wanted Izo to look more in his environment because it kind of just like he's there and the background is there, other than like the shadow, because especially since the shadow doesn't move. So I tried to just add some darker shading around him. And yeah, those are the two animations, or the animation with the background so far. And now it's time for this part, which I was dreading. Honestly, I was like, oh, I don't even know what it's gonna look like, what I should do. Honestly, it doesn't look the best, but it's a really short part of the animation, and what I really wanted to focus on was the wind blowing more than like the background. So yes, I am still proud of it, and I do think with time it'll get better, especially as I learn more about how to draw environments and stuff like that, because I rarely draw backgrounds, because guys, I feel like I don't know how to draw anything other than people. Like, I do want to know, like, learn more about it and stuff like that, but right now I am not very experienced, so it doesn't look the best. Also, I had like that thing in the end, the text where it says let's go and okay. That's where I was gonna draw her like reaching out for him and grabbing his hand, but again, I got lazy and I didn't even really know how to animate it perfectly like that. Again, I'm inexperienced, so I just kind of drew their hands and then like moved them into frame, so it looks kind of awkward, but it's the best I could do right now. I could probably do better, like if I animated the sleeve moving a little bit at least. You'll see what I'm talking about when it gets there, but if I animated the sleeve moving, at least for Izo, because Ema has a tighter sleeve that most likely wouldn't move if her hand moved, but Izo's sleeve is obviously very loose, so I assume it would move. But maybe next time, like I said, if I do decide to like reanimate this like every year to see how I've improved, then of course I'll draw, you know, the sleeve moving a little bit. Maybe next time, like I said, if I do decide to like reanimate this like every year to see how I've improved, then of course I'll draw, you know, the sleeve moving a little bit. This is me kind of trying to stylize the hands. I had a reference there and traced over it, and then tried to draw like my own stylized version of the hand, how it looks, I guess. Hand position, there you go. And honestly, this style makes it so much easier. I kind of just wanted to make them look kind of chunkier and simplified, but yeah, because I honestly am not completely finished like figuring out how I want to stylize these characters, but for the most part I think that's it. So finally, I just color in this part a lot according to the rest and add the shading, and then yeah, I'm gonna show you how it turned out in the end. And yeah, so that's the animation. I hope you guys liked it. I liked it and I'm pretty proud of it. If you have any suggestions or animation tips that you would like to share, please leave them down in the comments below, because I would love the help. And stay tuned for another video. If you have an idea of another video you'd like me to post, you could tell me that too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.